Hi, welcome back. This is Year of the Book, or rather today, Year of the Books, because these are all the books that I have bought in the past few months, so let's do a book haul. Now, the first important thing to say is that I didn't buy all these books at once. Ugh, heavy. These are books that we've picked up in the past few months, maybe the past 6 months, I want to say. And around half of them are secondhand, half of them are new. I haven't started reading any of them either, so I'm not going to be able to give reviews, but let's see what we've got. So the first one is The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I don't really know, I kind of know of H.G. Wells. I don't think that I have read any of his books previously. I'm familiar with War of the Worlds, which is possibly one of the most famous, but I thought that this looked cool. I also really liked the illustration on the front here. Thought that was very cool, and I liked the colors. This is from 1954. So I liked that. We do like a kind of vintage cover in our house, quite easily taken in by the aesthetics. So we've got that one. This is another secondhand one. This is Tolstoy, Childhood, Boyhood, and Youth. I have read some works by Tolstoy in the past, quite a long time ago, that I liked. This, I think, is kind of semi-autobiographical. Actually, I did start reading this in the car, and then I forgot about it. So this is still on the to-be-read list. Again, secondhand, 1964, this was printed. Very, very small type, isn't it? That might be a bit of a struggle. So anyway, Childhood, Boyhood, Youth. Then we have a book of short stories by Daphne du Maurier, The Blue Lenses and Other Stories. Now, I have read a couple of du Maurier short story collections before. I really like her writing. I've read a few of her novels as well. I've got one of her novels on the go upstairs, and I hadn't heard of The Blue Lenses or seen this collection before, so I picked that up. Again, secondhand, and I will look forward to reading that. Sorry, I'm now getting distracted looking at what's in it. Okay, so another one. This is Heinrich Böll, The Bread of Those Early Years. This is about life in post-war Germany. Now, I have not heard of this author. I think I was intrigued by the name and the blurb on the back, and also the kind of setting of the story is interesting to me. But really it's also quite short as well, which is always nice from my perspective. I have no idea whether it's based in truth or entirely fictional. But it looks quite good, and I'm interested to get cracking with that. I say get cracking with that. It's probably going to take me 5 years to get to some of these books, but we'll get there eventually. Next, we have a book called The Woman in the Dunes by Kōbō Abe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And the back says, a haunting Kafkaesque nightmare. That's probably what's incited me to buy that. I'm just reading the blurb. Niki Yumpe, an insect enthusiast, searches the scorching desert for beetles. As night falls, he is forced to seek shelter in an eerie village, half buried by huge sand dunes. I know why I bought this. Because I read a short story once, and I can never remember who it was by. It may have been Borges. That was about somebody trapped in like a pit of sand. And when they tried to escape from it, of course, the sand just collapsed and they could never find it. And I think reading this, it reminded me of that story. Maybe it is actually that story that I'm thinking of and I've read it before. I don't know. Anyway, we'll find out. So, have I read this one before? Unclear. Did it remind me of another story? Also unclear. Anyway, it's the kind of thing that I like. Now we're moving on to the new ones. So this is called Strong Female Character. I think this is autobiographical or some kind of memoir, and this is written by someone called Fern Brady, who is an autistic millennial, so obviously something that I can identify with there. And I just liked the sound of it. And I said before, I don't really read that much non-fiction, but I felt like this, it looks quite spicy in parts. This is something that I knew that I could get into, and it looked like it would be quite a good page turner as well. So I'll let you know what this one is like. Next up, so this is a book that I actually bought for work that will go on my work bookshelf, which is separate to my non-work bookshelf. So this is by an author called Patricia Hill Collins, Black Feminist Thought. So I've read a couple of journal articles by Patricia Hill Collins. She's a prominent thinker on intersectionality, and that is a concept that I use in my work. And it's basically the idea that we all have overlapping and multiple identities, and those identities shape how we experience the world and how we experience discrimination. And looking only at single categories of identity like race or gender or class can't quite capture the unique experience at the intersections. So this concept came out of Black feminist work to conceptualize the discrimination that Black women experience as women and as being Black as well. So that's a unique experience at that intersection. So this one will go upstairs. It's a collection of essays. I'm not sure if it includes some of the articles that I've already read. I think not, because this one is not only on intersectionality. It's more broad than that. So anyway, that one will go upstairs, and I'll be using that for my work. Next up, another secondhand one, Arnold Bennet, The Grim Smile of Five Towns. I think the title got me there. Again, it's a short story collection, and I know absolutely nothing about this author. Is he French? Potentially French? No, born in Staffordshire in England. Not French. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I'll let you know. Next we have, this is a book of poetry. Now, despite quite liking poetry, I don't really have many books of poetry. I think we do have a couple of collections, but not many. It's not something that I've kind of thought about buying for many years. And I saw this in a bookshop, and I was just kind of flicking through it, and I read a couple of poems in there, and I was instantly crying, and I thought I have to buy that. It's about childhood, motherhood, mothering, grief, a lot of topics that resonate deeply with me and that I am interested in reading about. And I mean, the great thing about a poetry book for someone like me that struggles to read consistently is that you can just pick it up, read something, put it back down. There doesn't need to be an order to it necessarily in the same way there does when you have a novel. Yeah, so this looks like a really good one. So there's that, poetry. Next up, another second-hand one, One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, and that is by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. This is a Russian author, and it is set during the Stalinist era, I believe, a Nobel Prize winner of 1970. So that says something. Again, it's quite short. I do quite like, have read quite a bit in the past of some Russian literature, and obviously it's not all the same, but there's a certain sort of quirky style to some of the Russian authors that I've read that I really like. Next up we have, oh, look at the cover of this, isn't this just lovely? So this is The Serviceberry by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Robin Wall Kimmerer is an indigenous philosopher, environmentalist, thinker. And her work probably for me sits somewhere between work interests and personal interests. I did listen to an audio version of one of her books called Gathering Moss when I developed a special interest in moss and was interested in learning more about moss. Still have that interest, still love a bit of moss. And I do sometimes gather it when I find it sort of discarded and dried up on a footpath. So she has a really nice writing style that is extremely engaging whilst being also really kind of profound, but it's just compelling. I don't know how to describe it. The way she writes is compelling. And she also read the audiobook that I listened to as well, which was great. And this is about kind of economies that are found in the natural world. So different relationships of reciprocity and interconnectedness across species, across and within different ecosystems. And that is partly relevant to the work that I do, but I knew that I could also just read this for pleasure because of how she writes and how compelling it is. Usually I kind of separate my work reading and my for pleasure or my fiction reading, but this one kind of spans that boundary basically. And also it looks beautiful, and I believe there's some illustrations in it as well. Oh, love it. Then we're getting to the end. You'll be pleased to hear. What have we got here? Oh, so this is Kairos. Now this is a Roman. This is the word for novel in German. So this is a German novel. It is written in German, and I won this book in a German poetry competition, if you'll believe it, with the German school that I attend. So I wrote a poem in German in the adult category, and I won this book from the German embassy, which is cool. I have no idea what it's about. I have not... Okay, so it's about two friends, I think friends, who meet each other in East Berlin around the time of the fall of the Berlin Wall. So again, a German setting, but this one is actually in German. Now, I don't know if my German is sufficient enough to read a novel. It's quite thick, but I will probably give it a go. And even if I'm not able to fully understand everything, I tend to just power through with the German, and I may misunderstand the entire story, but I don't really mind. So that's that one. That is it. The basket is empty. So those are all the books that I've bought in the past 6 months or so. I haven't started any of them. As and when I get to them, maybe I'll get back to you. I'll let you know how some of them are. Although, as I said, that might take several years. And you already saw a couple of weeks ago how many books I currently have on the go. I should probably get to those first and try to finish some of them before I start jumping into these. But maybe I'll jump into some of them because a lot of them are quite short. We got lots of short story collections, as you might expect from someone who writes short stories, and the poetry book as well. I'm going to dip in and out of that. I might move some of them to the bedside table to begin the process of reading them. So that was my book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Are there any books in there that you have read, or any authors that you've read other works by? You can see that I'm reading across quite a variety of genres again there. A couple of ghost story, horror-y type ones, but the majority of this pile are not horror. So yeah, I enjoy quite a wide range of books and genres. Okay, this has been my book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!